everybody, my name is Ashley Michelle Aleas, and today I bring you the culture of Mexico, the Toltec culture. It's very interesting, and we started. What was the Toltec culture? The Toltec culture develops around the 815 and 1168 AD in the state of the Hidalgo, Mexico, in the culture period known as the post-classic. The archaeological zone of the Tula was the center of the power of this pre-Hispanic civilization, which during the splendor of the population of the approximately 40,000 inhabitants. The decline of the Toltec culture began in 1168 due to political conflicts and invasion of the nomadic peoples. The location of the Toltec culture is the city of the Tolanxicocotitlan, present-day Tula, in the Hidalgo region, which was the center of the civilization. Political and social organization. The Toltec civilization was the militarized theocracy like the most post-classic civilization. The number one supreme ruler, he was called Tlatoque, and he was in the church of the absorber power. Priests, officials, and warriors. And they were in the change of the military caste, attending the worship calendars of the public administration. Thus, they also took care and the defense of the neighboring attracts and the territorial expansion. Servile cause. It was made of the farmers, carpenters, painters, weavers, and the other types of the classmen. Slaves, prisoners of war, slaves, and the prostitutes, and made up the last the social echelon. The architecture. In the notable the pyramid of the Tlahui called the Pukli, which holds the 19 figures measuring 4.16 meters of the representing warrior dressed in the military uniform. The narratives, both the pre-Columbian and the Colombian, mention the ability of the Toltecs and the made handicrafts. The excellent in stone work, the monumental sculptures of the warriors and the military leaders, and the characteristics, especially those called Atlanteans of the ceremonial center of Tula. Religion. The gods demanded human sacrifices for the prisoners of the war general employed. The first god is Quetzalcoatl, the feathered snake or serpiente emplumada, god of the Teotihuacan region and considered the good life, the light, the fertility, and the wisdom. Tezcatlipoca, god of the invisible, the darkness, he is considered the antagonist of the Quetzalcoatl. Centotl is god of the corn, Tlaloc, god of the rain, Izlacuicuque, good disasters of the cult and sacrifices. Custom, tradition, and beliefs. Music and custom of the Toltecs. Their melodic songs are the human spirit. The Toltecs in their social custom left traces of their musical traditions. The desert found Shirley's bone, snails of the Cooper, the being the witness of the song according the celebration. They could not be absent in worship of good or in celebration royalty. Human sacrifices of the custom and tradition. The respondent explained the practice in the saying the many gods had already sacrifices for the people. And the people showed so equality act of the gratuity and payment for the favors granted. It was true and respected. The ritual gave performer when the social calendar in temples they allocated the spaces in the exposed schools. The medicine as wisdom in tradition and customs. Being the priests of the various herbs make a drink special ointment, which, according to the Spanish, helped in healing ingestion, nausea, handaches, and war wounds. Houses with Toltec customs and tradition. Being the family the base of the Toltec society, the houses were designed to their inhabitants, cold and adequately. The design of the wall related to culture. They were tile made and the stone they adapt. Structure in the spaces sleeping, eating personal hygiene. In accordance in the customs and the traditions, they had the area of the good and as was the government rigor and the places store grains. Similarly, at the house an important place is stringent and the transmit Toltec and tradition from the parents of the children. And agricultural custom and tradition for the Toltec. The Toltec culture represents of the organization where each of the population felt its obligation. Sowing was an indispensable activity, and custom science it warranted food of the people. They developed efficient was the preparing the land of the crops and the irrigation system, implement slash and burn. The Toltecs were looking at product with levels of the storage. It goods blessed with the bountiful harvests they gave thanks offering as a for favor. They asked to prepare balance of the between rain and sun. Thank you.